Hey everybody, it's Office Arcade here. I actually got into the Street Fighter 6 beta for the second round of the beta this weekend. I wanted to share a little bit of gameplay footage with you guys and some initial thoughts on the game itself. To start, it's a beautiful game. Like, the animations are fantastic, the graphics are fantastic. I was a little skeptical of the more realistic art direction they were going with, but the characters look awesome, and I'm super digging it. Another thing that I was a little worried about just watching other people's footage of the first beta was that the game would feel a little bit slow. Like, a lot of the animations do look a little bit slower, but when you play the game it feels super fast. I don't know if it's the faster fireballs or the drive gauge or the new meter system, or maybe it's a combination of all of them, but it just feels like there's so many options at any given time. And you'll even see in you know, some of this footage, like the drive gauge back and forth can get super crazy. So it just feels super fast. I don't know, you know, as the novelty wears off and as I get better at the game, I don't know if it'll start to feel slower, but those initial concerns were definitely unfounded. The community hub portion of the game, I'm actually not a huge fan of so far. Like, I know a lot of people like having the customizable avatar and all that stuff, but really that community hub is a bunch of different sections you have to run around to basically access different gameplay menus. So for lazy people like me, I kind of just want to access what I'm looking for within, you know, a couple button presses without having to run over to an arcade. It's a cool idea. It's just I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. Fortunately, for those of you familiar with the Street Fighter V rank system and the way that you join rank matches, the system in this game is pretty similar. So I ran through 11 ranked matches super quickly. The matchmaking is really fast, and it was a heck of a lot of fun. So, you know, it doesn't force you to do all the community stuff. So I guess the community stuff is a little bit less annoying to me from that perspective, but, you know, hopefully it grows on me. I did try the Street Fighter 2 Turbo. They have a section of the community hub where you can actually play old school Capcom arcade games, and I did try Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, and it felt really, really good. So I'm hoping that, you know, they're gonna open up their whole library there. I don't know if it'll be behind a paywall. And I couldn't figure out how to do multiplayer on Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, so I was only playing against the computer. So I'm curious to see kind of how that feature is going to play out long term. Yeah, overall, this game is awesome. Like, I cannot wait for June. Between this and Diablo 4, I feel like I'll be set for the next 5 years, especially just based on how slowly Diablo games and Street Fighter games tend to get released. Kind of getting back to the Street Fighter 6 chatter too, a lot of folks were worried that this was going to be too reminiscent of Third Strike and that parry system. It does not feel like Third Strike at all to me, because I was not a fan of Street Fighter 3. So I'm super happy it doesn't feel like Street Fighter 3. There are some elements that were borrowed, like the parry system is similar-ish, like the idea is more inspired by it, but the feel isn't really the same, at least it wasn't to me. So it's kind of like Street Fighter 3 mechanics added to Street Fighter 5. Like, that's kind of what it felt like for me. And a lot of the characters, they play very different, or they play different from their Street Fighter 5 counterparts, but similar enough that you could kind of just jump in and do stuff. Like, I didn't really train with Ken, and you can see me, you know, executing some combos and whatnot here, just going back to some Street Fighter 5 bread and butter. A lot of stuff misses too, because it's not true combos anymore, but overall, super good first impressions of Street Fighter 6.